Fun series so far.
And it has. Let's see if Game 3 is going to deliver on the hype just as much. KSV moving back over to the blue side, still going to be banning that Alistar first and foremost.
That's the most reliable of playmakers, the meta playmaker, you might say, so still going to draw a ban. Interesting what BBQ's red side bans are the second time of asking. Sejuani, Rise, Azir, with a lot of mid laners banned in our first game of the series. See how much of a rollback there is on that. So far, it's the same on the red side. Ban most likely to be pushed out is Zoe, I would say, on blue side, although the Vladimir ban also could be skipped here. So Vladimir and Zoe were the other two bans, with the Alistar now occupying one of those slots, and Vladimir will retain, and I wonder if KSV will be so bold as to first pick the Zoe if it's available.
Well, it was a really rough start there for Crown, but kind of brought it all back together by the end, and you can see the damage there. And as he was sieging up, just really racked up by the end, so going back for the Zoe.
Boldness
Makes
confirmed.
sense, and they will go ahead and just do it.
Could try Azir and a more team-fighting jungler. So you can see Azir, Jarvan kind of draft here on red side if they want Malzahar, Jarvan also available. Would like to see the Jarvan from the side of BBQ. The double ban, you'll remember, of jungle in the second round was Zach Jarvan. So Raze-esque bans coming through previously.
Yeah, Kalista banned away, so Ezreal up will be picked up by BBQ.
Can always take the Azir later. May have different ideas with the Malzahar. Pick of the jungle now available. Only Sejuani banned away. Wait to see what the decision is here by BBQ. We'd imagine jungle. Imagine Bono's picking for himself. No, they will prize the Malzahar early. Makes you wonder what special we're seeing. Maybe it'll be a Bono special in jungle as a last pick. Who knows? For KSV, what about Varus Braum? You could just lock that in right now and feel so good about it. If you're KSV, Varus already hovered. When in doubt, Varus is very much the ruler special. Could also look for their jungler here. They have the pick of all the jungle.
Taking their time, working through this one. Do you want to revisit something like the Rengar for Haru? Was not a great start for him despite winning the MVP. Took a while to get off the ground, but yeah, they'll go ahead and they'll lock it in.
Playing towards his strengths. Haru back in the lineup after the loss to Kongnu Monster, and keeping him away feels strongest, which is on the Werekitty. As Rengar, famous from all his performances a year ago on his debut for Samsung in spring season. Seems like BBQ might take the tact of taking a top laner and banning away other top lanes, so Camille ban likely here. QV's champion pool, we said a couple of times. Ornn, GP, and Gnar. Only added the Maokai to it. No surprise there, his career most played is the Maokai. Will they just opt into Maokai again by leaving it open? Seeing how BBQ approach these bans. They'll go with the Ornn first.
Take that one off the board. Let's see what KSV's feeling. Maybe try to limit Bono here a little bit more. We saw the J4 banned away last time, and the Zac, but this time it's going to be Kha'Zix at least to start things off.
Definitely banning the player who has the more rookie status, and not the player who has seemingly an unlimited support pool is probably the right way to go. Ignar will always find a new engage if they are to pick engage from support. They already have Gnar and the Malzahar, so I'm excited to see what their approach to support is. Thinking for a second top lane ban. It's actually just going to be the Tahm Kench, so they've got the Malzahar. They want to play a pick style. So allowing GP to go through if they want it. Maokai also available, so QV going to have a lot of his favorites. The greatest hits of QV will be retained for a top lane pick.
It will be that J4 banned away in the last year by KSV.
That's the cost of going for this Gnar, is that the Jarvan that I was wanting to see from Bono is taken away.
Do you just take the Braum here if you're BBQ? Get that one away from Core JJ.
Definitely has value against Varus and Zoe especially. It seems like they're once again holding a special pick for Ignar last. Bono seems to have a lot of comfort on his Nidalee, and it was a good Nidalee game, but does pigeonhole them again a little bit.
I mean, this is basically the same draft, just with the Ezreal swapped in. But one of the things that we've seen banned away in the past has been this Camille, and now it's available. And KSV, they're thinking about it.
Camille Rengar sounds pretty terrifying.
It does, but it also sounds very squishy, so they would need something very beefy to round out that bottom lane. But the Camille is going to be the lock-in, much to the approval of the audience here.
And the Tarek made the most sense with what you were saying there. Achilles, the one to make it. Budget tankiness on the side with the Cosmic Radiance and the healing in lane. Varus Tarek, not quite Varus Braum, but very similar. BBQ now have to decide whether holding Ignar's super pick for last will actually be paid off. The Leona's the one everyone goes through everyone's minds. Waiting for the last second here. What is Ignar going to play? It's going to be the Shen. Okay. So instead it's going to be about playing the map. But awkwardly, you think about Shen. When you see Shen support, you usually think, yeah, Rengar or an Engager. They don't have one of those. Now, Italy can pounce in and perhaps have a bit of an overshield, but she's so squishy. She might be turned around on. So how does Ignar make this pick? Will it be flanking Shen as if he's an Alistair? Who knows? But usually the Ninja is criticized for being too conspicuous, and support Shen in this draft is a surprise. Also, Bono returning to Nidalee, a surprise. We have queries about his champion, but we want to know if he go more standard. It's going to be the Nidalee here. He still wants to invade the Rengar, but it's a team effort to pull that off.
All right, well, KSV with a pretty disgusting, a pretty terrifying top and jungle duo here with that Camille and Rengar. We've seen Cube destroy with Camille before. If he gets ahead, BBQ, Bono, new to the LCK.
What do we say about game 2?
A certain kind of pain.
What do we say about game 2? If BBQ don't get ahead, it's going to be a rough one. It's the same story here, actually. KSV have a pretty big window to get ahead, and they also have a lot of tools to get ahead. Camille Rengar can do a number on the Gnar. Camille considered a counter pick in, even if the laning phase needs the all-ins to work for the Camille. Bot lane as reliable as can be with the Varus and the Tarek. So a lot going on here for KSV. BBQ, they threw the dice. It's another last pick support, but this one I'm not as convinced by as the Blitzcrank last time out.
All right, well, let's see if Ignar can make it work. Let's see if BBQ can complete this takedown of KSV, or if they will fire back and close out the last series here at OGN for the week. Let's load onto the Rift for game number 3. Here we go. The BBQ fans certainly getting louder and louder throughout the night.
They're going to have more stamina than the KSV fans after the free chicken. So understandable. They're still with us. It's about 10:30 p.m. Korean Standard Time here. Load into the final game of the night.
Everybody gets free chicken. It's not just the BBQ fans.
It's true.
They're a sponsor of the league.
It's true.
So no favoritism being dished out there.
We definitely invite any chicken sponsors to the LCK.
Actually, I just invite BBQ to continue to be the chicken sponsor.
BBQ's great.
I don't,
Best of the best quality.
all of the others could.
And people wonder about
Go
BBQ
away.
Olivers. It's basically best of the best quality olive oil signature recipe.
Yeah.
Is what they're trying to say. Koreans love the shortenings, KT Rollsters, KT Roller Coaster, which most people know, but will be a surprise to some. Damage taken per minute, surprisingly high for the Gnar.
It's quite a bit, yeah.
A lot of saplings, I guess, thrown into brush, hitting the Gnar. DPM, predictably, higher for the Gnar. Gnar was also kind of a sole frontliner, so that was a reason why in team fights it went up. Bono had some great pathing on the Nidalee and ganked mid lane, you'll remember. Before QSS was completed, got a very nice gank onto Crown, so we'll see how he plays that one.
Now moving up pretty aggressively here. Crown definitely had a massive turnaround performance there in game number 1. You can see his damage percentage going up to 34%, pretty much matched there by Ruler.
It's good that you noted it. Basically, with Paddle Star, more ranged pushing at level 1 for the Zoe means that an aggressive ward was put down onto the enemy red buff. So a lot of information on Italy's pathing is available, both the Rengar and the laners. So a lot to work with here. So they get a big benefit from the pushing mid lane from Zoe. Well, didn't see that in game 2, but gets them a big lead here, at least in vision.
Ignar coming out on top with those wards placed. Wants to be able to find those nice little flank paths to get himself around the members of KSV. Get behind them and then have the big initiation.
10-2 career on the Rengar in the LCK. Didn't play it much on CJ. That was happy for him. Yeah. Bot lane.
Shadow Dash coming through.
Oh, he
Spear's
actually
gonna
hit it.
connect. That's going to be Ruler maybe going down. There we have it yet again. That's going to be Bono kicking things off. Gets the next spear in, looking for the pounce. Will burn Core JJ down low and forces out the flash. First blood to BBQ.
No summoners used by Ruler died in the first AoE. Wouldn't have got away with flash and heal, but ends up blowing the flash as well for Core JJ, which is a big victory as well. Nice gank timing. Despite the fact that we saw that he was seen on the red buff, he just went straight down bot lane. So maybe it was communicated, the likely warding spot, and surprised KSV. Not often do you go to your second camp in a ward and surprise out the enemy team, but really creative pathing from Bono, another highlight from this jungler.
Oh. A little bit of a scuffle here in the mid lane as Crown takes those malefic visions, but it's a long way away from actually dealing any damage.
Bono's got big balls.
Yes, he does. He's going to be looking for Haru here. Comes over the wall. Doesn't get the connection, though, on the spear. Now Haru jumping in, has the brushes to play against. Gets the root. The piercing arrow not going to get the connection, but now the dragon gets engaged, and Ruler will find the kill. Good lord. What a disaster for BBQ, for Bono, and now a red buff onto the Varus as well.
If you play with fire, you might burn yourself. That's what happens for Bono.
He just looks confused. I don't know how that happened, but
it was a solo invade with no pressure. A solo queue play from Bono. The first we've seen from him in his third game, heavily punished on the side of KSV.
Oh, just a little too aggressive. Should have just cut his, not even his losses, just not gotten greedy, taken the first blood and continued farming in his own jungle, but wanted to go aggro and gets punished for it. Battlestar coming through, will hit Tempt, he gets chunked down.
When everything's working for you, Achilles, you make those plays. You go for it. Previously, it had gone swimmingly for him. This time, it used against him.
Look, I know, when you're on a heater at the casino, you don't walk away from the table. I know that's how that usually goes. But you have to know when to walk away, Papa Smith. You have to know when to just take your chips and leave.
I mean, he just went double or nothing.
Oh, yeah.
He literally
I'll put it all in red
into the Krugs and then found a Rengar who's level 4. That's not what you want.
Actually, it was probably more like betting it on 0 on roulette. It's very, very slim chance that was going to work out.
Rengar's actually here, unbeknownst to Crazy.
Snuck his way in. Just waiting for him to push a bit closer here.
This is right skirting around Vision. Crazy's going to have no idea.
Throws down the control ward there into the brush. Here comes the jump. The hook shot coming in. Flashes in to get the connection into the bola shot, and that is going to be another kill. Very easily done by KSV. Beautiful stuff by Haru and Cuvee.
And Crazy gets a front row seat to Haru Rengar. There's a reason this guy was popping off left, right, and center in spring season last year. Rengar heavily in the meta at the time. Haru's making the Rengar work. Ambition playing as well. But no one plays it as well as Haru.
Well, this is what we were expecting initially from Game 2. Seems like Haru has come online a little bit. Great gank there for him. Core JJ right now just matching the roam of Ignar, hovering around the mid lane. His Tempt is level 6. Don't want that Siege C chain to come through.
Notice that once again, Crown is prioritizing lane control in terms of pushing over lane control in terms of having the QSS. So he's going for his ability to push in the Malzahar. But we can see once again, Bono wants to recreate Game 2. Full rotation probably does kill.
Almost certainly. Battlestar coming in, clears the back wave. That's going to be the flash in. Portal jumps, brings him straight back through. He'll flash away, trying to juke it out, but the spear connects. Has the stopwatch. Bono just going to be waiting. The silence is there anyway. So it was looking like a nice outplay there by Crown, but gets taken down in the end.
You're not able to break the tether with the portal jump either, so he dies. Kind of inevitable with the choice of going for the Lost Chapter, but an earlier back timing with stopwatch and flash. He thought he could pull it off. He wasn't able to. Big punishment there is Haru's accelerated.
Yeah, just fine. Tempt knows that
I
there's
think
no
Tempt might
ultimate
be
and he
dead.
doesn't have any mana.
Tempt is dead.
He doesn't have a flash, and Haru's got plenty of brushes to play around. Tempt's just trying to waste some time, it looks like. Bola shot connects in onto the Voidling, but he jumps over the wall and will finish him off. Quote-unquote solo kill going over to Haru, as he is now 1-0 and 2 on this Rengar, which is pretty damn accelerated.
He just wanted to recall and brush. Didn't want to go for the lane recall. Wanted to go for the safe recall. Not against Rengar, my friend. He dies. Double control ward on that side will stick for KSV as well. And an answering kill. Good positioning by Rengar to take that one down.
Well, 3-2, only a couple hundred gold separating on either side. Bono pushes up, just misses the timing there on that ward as it expires. So, Cuvee
Trying to bait a
in the no.
hook shot here. by QV. Crazy's playing too, being aggressively hookshotted, but QV's not taking the bait. Doesn't need to. The gain in that scenario wasn't massive, because the minion wave wasn't being denied. Bot lane.
And Dazzle connecting there onto Ghost. Takes a little bit of damage, but other than that, is quite all right. He's got his level 6. He's got that emergency wave clear if he needs it.
Bot lane has been non-interactive as expected. Tier first purchase from Core JJ means that the Qs from Ghost might be getting him some items, but aren't getting him any chip damage. So with the health bar lead, push, 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 the strategy KSV bot side. We like their matchup top side as well. And Zoe's, once she's finished QSS, got a lot of options in the mid lane as well. That's why the KSV draft was a fearsome one. They have more options and more answers than they did in Game 2 against a pretty similar comp coming through from BBQ. But the first ultimate is online from our Unsealed Spellbook Shen, so maybe this is where it ratchets up for BBQ.
I would hope so. Some action would be nice. Hope we don't have any plans tonight, Papa Smithy. It's probably still going to be here for a while, given the length of the first 2 games.
You know, actually switches over to Exhaust, so already has a global, so doesn't need the teleport. Exhaust to potentially deal with a Rengar gank. Lane gank from Rengar, post 6 always a high threat, and bot lane has a lot of CC, so I think the Exhaust is probably a good read.
Well, QV getting some vision down, but not going to be seeing any more aggressive plays coming out yet from this Camille. Already got a nice little lead growing, however, as far as the CS is concerned, and the Sheen's done, so the damage output will be pretty oppressive.
Don't see a lot of fleet footwork these days, but Ruler has taken it for lane control. Always speaks about how he knows the limits of this champion the best, and with fleet footwork, he is very, very fearsome. That's why the 2v2 is largely non-committal from BBQ. Shen doesn't offer a lot unless he's playing aggressively, and you're not playing aggressively into Ignite Taric, so for now at least, passivity from BBQ on the bot side.
Really good juke out on that spear, and Ghost takes a ton of damage here underneath the turret. Still has the flash and the heal, however, and those relic shield charges are of course coming through, so he will be all right to stick around. In the meantime, QV getting jumped on here by Crazy, uses the Gnar ultimate, gets the wallop as well, knocks him down to about half HP, but Haru's waiting in the wings, going to be sprinting his way over. Hextech ultimatum coming in as they try to find Crazy, but the TP is going to be completed, and Bono's waiting on the other side. He's going to jump in. QV one hit from dead. Will go down, looking for the double kill. Haru trying to zip his way out of here. Gets hit up, Sleepy Trouble Bubble comes in. Haru jumps back in, but he just goes to his certain death. Nethergrass gets used and Temp just kills him. Haru not sure what he was thinking. Should have just kept hightailing it out.
He was one way or another. He probably thought he was dead, but he had the W up to cancel a chain. Wasn't enough. The suppression still kills him with the null zone damage. So Haru caught between a rock and a hard place. Does end up giving 2 kills to BBQ.
And just like that, all the good work that KSV was doing gets turned around, and BBQ find themselves with an 800 gold lead.
Bono keeps finding himself in the right place for a counter gank. Now his attempt to counter jungle, that one was a bit wayward when he gave away the kill to the Rengar. Watch the replay here. Opens with a redemption from mid lane. Always amusing to watch. Interruption, we didn't see that. That's why the Shen doesn't actually complete. Bono's coming in, gets the flash on. You think it's going to be a double kill. Let's watch the decision making here from Haru. They get the trouble bubble. They look for the burst, turn around. Unable to. Stopwatch there. Does bait him as well. Don't think he would have escaped anyways, but his death was certain there.
I think he would have.
Well, the misjudgment one way or the other.
Yeah. I mean, Sleep came down right when Bono was going to be looking to leap, so I think it would have created enough distance for him to sprint out, but
top teams,
it is hard to say.
And top teams, when it comes to stopwatch, always do. You would think that they would always have it in the back of their mind, right? In solo queue, it's a smart trend to just ping the broken stopwatch or the completed stopwatch around 6 minutes to give that information to your team, but Haru does end up going down there, stops his onslaught, and Bono kind of needs the course correction, so him picking up kill involvement, not a trivial thing for BBQ.
Well, Haru still looking for objectives here as he starts up this Mountain Drake. We'll be able to take that one away as we can see that Bono is busy at the moment with the Rift Herald. We'll be soloing that out.
How is it the same game again?
You know, sometimes it just happens that way.
This was the trade that happened in the previous game. Rift Herald will eventually be picked up by the Nidalee. Control wards on the top side. They're playing to their vision, so you can't really waggle your fingers so much. But let's talk about the second Drake, because it was the second Infernal that started to add things up in the previous game. We're getting a second Infernal here as well.
Yep. Well, QV has to back off. Use the hook shot to create some distance. Now it's just going to be a bit of a race here for the turret, but obviously KSV much further ahead will win. Rift Herald's going to get called out.
You're gonna look for 2, though, you would think.
They're going to go for the second charge here.
Definitely going to a second charge. A blue buff also available due to the timer, 13 minutes. Often when second blue is up.
Pretty good here. You'd have the same for
Be
BBQ.
second charge, no over-investment because the members of KSV had backed off a lot earlier. They will take the blue buff and run away. So, do end up getting more turret damage, all in all. Ezreal doesn't get denied from farm in the bot side, but has been down because of the strength of the Varus turret lane. A lot of things happening across the map, but again, eerily reminiscent of the previous game. To me, it is the attempt to contest around Infernal, because Maokai was winning them, all of those dragons. KSV would start them, Maokai would ult, Nidalee couldn't pounce through the oncoming cats, and the smite would come true. So, see if there's a recreation of that. Second Infernal, to me, really will be where I think the game breaks open one way or the other.
Well, for now, still going to be about the same lead here for BBQ. I'm just jumping forward there with the portal, breaking that passive away from Tempt.
Raze continues to build for lane, despite the difficult assignment. And QV already has Trinity Force right now. Huge item lead for QV. As Black Cleaver is being pieced together after the Ninja Tabi for a bit of defensive stats. Camille winning this by, 10 CS, pretty standard for the matchup, especially with some jungle attention like Haru has already shown.
Again, passive break. Just willing to trade a little bit of damage off his HP bar there to go ahead and ensure that the Malzahar is vulnerable at any given point. Nice. Trouble bubble. No way to capitalize onto that one, though.
No Battlestar's going to hit that one. We need 3 flashes. Would need to be something from Celeste or something to get that many dashes.
Have been playing that game quite a bit.
We both have. It's been a Switch title in between games. You often wonder what the casters do when they have an hour play. They play Switch, is what we've learned.
Yep. Quite good. TP, though, coming down in on top of the minion, trying to keep this one alive. Crown will just be rejoining into the mid lane. It's free TP. It just allows him to get a little bit extra damage in onto the turret. But outside of that, not a whole lot going to be happening.
Bubbles are starting to rain in. BBQ have no coverage of their blue side, so it's risky for him to walk up. Gets hit. No Paddle Star this time. It's a multi-step plan from KSV. They've been setting up for the Inferno for a long time. Getting the mid lane would kind of guarantee it, as the slow does actually hit onto the Ezreal.
And TP comes through there from Tempt just to make sure that they can hold on to this. Seems like they'll be all right. So burn that summoner spell.
All KSV want to do is control the enemy blue side and also the Drakes to recreate Game 2. BBQ playing around where they're strong, which is the long lane and top side. The items doesn't necessarily lend them to diving QV. Might be a level up, but no Black Cleaver makes any sort of a dive super risky, and Camille has massive outplay, as we well know. So playing around the Gnar seems pretty low reward for Bono, and he needs the Shen to even hope to start to contest vision. Right now, not that much deep vision, just to ward onto their wolves. The vision battle, I think, will take a couple more twists and turns before this Infernal spawns in just about 2 minutes' time.
Are going to go ahead and pick up that Scuttle Crab. Get ready for that Infernal to roll through. If they can take it out. Was the big reason why they were able to walk away with a victory in game number 2. See if it treats them just as well this time around.
Outscale and controlling the objective is enough to win you games. Ability to stall in this meta is pretty significant. It's what we've been seeing from KSV. It's not the same team that played against MVP, but a lot of teams have looked good against MVP and then struggled to recreate that form. KSV playing their side lanes, once again cementing vision on the Infernal, which spawns in 1 minute.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a Zoe versus Zed matchup. Just everyone jumping all over the place.
I take any Zed before bed, but denied it. Baron's going to cleanse.
Oh, he's also going to take that spear to the face, but still going to be okay, and still has 45 seconds on the Infernal. So should be fine to go ahead and stick around. They're trying to use this inside track here to get in onto the turret. Passive. Ruin, rather, bursting it down.
Demolish
There you
Proc.
go, will break it. It's going to be Dazzle coming through, but Ignar has the stopwatch. Keeps himself nice and safe.
Tempo probably want to actually use his ultimate on Core JJ, but not enough damage to back him up. Otherwise, the Cosmic Radiance would have answered it.
Oh, that's going to be the flash in. Nethergrass comes through. Sleepy Trouble,
Okay.
Trouble Bubble gets thrown out, but Ghost is going to be the one taking away the kill there with the True Shot Barrage. Now Crown under fire. He's trying to push back forward.
Picks up the
down.
exhaust that was just used on him to exhaust him back. So
Tosses it out, but that's about it. Not going to be finding much of anything else. Trouble Bubble yet again. And on to Ignar.
Round's low mana, but definitely going to chuck
Big hit
Ignar
that
out of
time.
it. Ignar can recall and ult back in, so not as important there. Crazy pushing into QV. Has to be accountable. Good time for an Infernal. This will be the first Drake since game 1.
Lulu's coming around the side. This one's going to go low. Haru comes in, tries to take it away, but now the smite's going to be there from Bono. Infernal Drake goes over to BBQ. Now QV jumping in, tactical sweep as he goes in around the wall. Will get taunted up as the Shadow Dash comes through. TP being completed by Crazy, and he has the Mega Dart just about ready to go.
Tempt.
He throws the ultimatum down, flashes over the wall. Tempt is going to get found. He goes golden, but it's not enough. Haru manages to finish him off yet again. Very much like we saw from him in game number 2. It's going to be the 1-for-0 here for KSV at the moment, but Infernal still went over to BBQ. They can again tactical sweep, but they don't want to stick around. They don't want to play up into the brush and into the jungle where they don't have vision, so they will peel back.
Yeah, Kojide has reunited with his team as well, so extra reason to pull back. Oh, big burst onto Bono, smites the blue and gets out. Dent was already dead, so he's happy to claim it for himself, denies it away from the enemy. 20 minutes into the game, Baron has spawned. Gonna walk in the area, start the control around it, but not actually start the objective. It's another place where KSV has so many options. Achilles, Trouble Bubble, over the wall, hook shot into the ultimatum from QV. They also have the ability to rush it down, with Tarek just allowing them to take it for days with his heals. So KSV have an immensely strong Baron team. BBQ's is not terrible, but they're really about the Malzahar turn more over anything else. And if you're not turning onto Core JJ, he might just answer an initiation with the Cosmic Radiance. So a lot of options here for the side of KSV. They already had the wards around. The Drake didn't get him that objective, but the Baron, that's one they're looking for.
Haru spotted there, waiting in the wings, trying to bait somebody forward to come after Crown so they can burst them down and perhaps turn over onto that Baron. Let the spooky ghosts come through. They say hello, and Haru says goodbye. Red buff, however, will be picked up. True Shot Barrage is a bit too late to secure that one.
There's the face checker on the side of BBQ. Ignar is only level 8. So is Core JJ, but they're both super emaciated, very underleveled. I mean that either of them face checking, and specifically Ignar face checking Paddlestar is his death. So it's awkward for him to deal with. Very low on items as well. Just Kindle Gem towards his next item.
Still sounds like such an insult.
Yeah.
Dirty face checker.
Dirty Scion Picker's my favorite, but that's a Season 1 special.
Like the portal jump just to get in range for the ward to go down. Be fighting over the clear there on that control ward. Dazzle comes through, not going to find the connection though. And KSV likely to lose this war, or at least make it a neutral one, as they both lose their control wards.
They're not down, but he's now exhausted. Very fine position in the game. The Infernal take by BBQ, big for them. Given that we were expecting a recreation of the last game, the Barons that BBQ got was why they were so close. A couple more picks away from ending the game. KSV's comp so strong around Baron, and they have side lane pressure with the Camille into Gnar. Raised a lot of questions here for BBQ. This time the Spears, I mean, he's going for a late Rod of Ages, so Bono's pretty far behind. 22 minutes in. Early kill started something, but Bill did slow down pretty severely.
Well, plenty of ways to check the brush here for BBQ. Nice Trouble Bubble there going through. Do they have the Dazzle? Yes, they do. Can they blow up the Nidalee? Yes, they can from downtown. Crown has the shot with the Paddle Star. And KSV now likely going to be looking towards that Baron. No smite available for 30 seconds.
That's the strength around Baron. They're immensely powerful around Baron, KSV. They have ranged pick initiation, and Camille also has that as well. So get the kill. Ignar understood that if he dashed in to try to help, he would have died as well. So no level 1 Stand United was going to turn that. QV starts to roam up. It's Baron time.
And they're starting it up now. Crown just trying to gatekeep here with the Trouble Bubbles. Trying to lock somebody down. Be a miracle for Ghost if he could take this one away. Cosmic Radiance thrown in just to keep them nice and healthy for the potential fight afterward. Dangerously close there. Goes down to about 200 HP or so. But Haru does have the smite. He gets the confirmation on that Baron take.
When you're this early in the game with the Baron squishy, you certainly could understand why that was looking close, but did end up being routinely secured by Haru. Smite's on point so far this game. Without having to invest anything from QV, as Teleport will be matching Crazies very shortly. The Baron they set up for is now there. And now it's nearly against Baron buff. We never had to see that in Game 2, but her struggle still with no Rod of Ages. Maybe just going to sit on the Catalyst and turn it into an Abyssal Mask later, which, given her ranges, doesn't feel good, but 25-minute Rod of Ages also sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, that's certainly not the best. So a rougher spot here for BBQ as KSV are going to be looking to pick up some turrets here with this Baron buff. Have 2 already. Top lane already prepped and looks like it's going to be surrendered by BBQ.
And then they can do here. Demolish proc, getting big value from OJJ. This one will go down after a while. Credit to Crazy for his turret HP. So far this game, wasn't able to deny CS from QV, but any sort of turret damage was denied. Allows KSV to open up a gold lead. It's not a trivial thing. They've struggled to do that in this series. They've definitely spent the majority of the series well behind.
For Ignar, but almost finds Bono over the wall.
3 QSSs as well. Means that there's a lot of safety here for KSV.
Crown starting to get the push in. Onto the turret. Onto the turret.
The turret?
The turret.
That sounds like a Tauren turret.
He shot the turret. But he shot Bono.
Who shot first, though, Achilles?
It was Crown.
Okay. Shots fired.
Takes him down about half. With just 1 Paddle Star. QV is just trying to survive against Crazy. Does quite a bit of damage, but it's buying time for the rest of the squad. He's got a way to stop the TP there. If Crazy should need to join in with his squad as Temp takes a Paddle Star to the face.
This time, Crown has not been held 1-on-1, but getting his farm timings ahead in CS compared to the Malzahar. No good news for the Malzahar since the early kill. Now we're able to get turret diving Crown. Teleport coming in. This time it's from Shen. Yeah. Sorry, from Zoe, actually, I should say.
They're basically the same champ.
Oh, yeah,
champion,
definitely.
You know? And definitely not on the opposite team.
We've had a lot of teleports today, Achilles.
It's a lot
of teleports.
That's a pretty long day as well.
Oh, the Trouble Bubble
The Trouble
here.
Bubble does connect, but can't really follow up because he's got Bono threatening from the side. Crazy's going to take a blue buff for himself. So why not? Another Trouble Bubble.
That's the second high-value one, but no Paddle Star range to actually profit from it.
That's the problem. He can't take advantage of it.
QV pushing up at the same time, loaded with items. Nah, with decent wave clear, but nothing fantastic. With Baron buff still 20 seconds away. They want 2 turrets from this. They're going to get at least 1.
Oh, God. It goes, yeah, that time. We'll find the Paddle Star connection, even without the sleep. Crown sieging up yet again, trying to top those damage charts. QV is still sticking around. Crazy's going to be exhausted as he transforms back into Mininar.
6-level difference between QV and Ignar.
Yeah, that Shen will die.
And Ignar hasn't been doing playmaking either. The Shen, you'd have to say, has been pretty useless this game. Kind of expected when they didn't have a submarine target. There was no one really we could see on the team that'd be diving in, get a lot of benefit, short of a Nidalee that was just situational at best. So unfortunately, we're not seeing the value from the last pick support. And Ignar, if he commands last pick support, you know, he's using a lot of resources from his team. While it's a common strategy in previous matches, it's not as common right now. Teams playing around with that. So unfortunately, still only level 10, still no big Stand United play, no cross-map play either. KSV largely control the flow of the game.
Well, double Mountain Drake, a third one on the way. So no triple Infernal this time around, but KSV still going to be probably pretty happy here. We can just keep sieging up and melting down these turrets and barons as the game continues.
Crazy focusing on lane. Phantom Dancer is third item. Starks Gage coming through from QV.
There's a lot of respect here to the audience. Everyone watching at home and the people sitting here live watching.
Coming up to 11 p.m. Korean Standard Time.
Still do have Gate and Froggen in the audience. They've been sticking with us the entire day, even through the break.
It's cool to see. Foreign pros, don't have them in our league anymore after the Season 2 days, with LCS rolling on, but a lot of people watch Korea, we well know. Double bubble onto Ezreal. Minion wave doesn't come at the same time, so no benefit from it. KSV going for slow and steady, which we know is very much their mantra. They're the anti-King Zone in that way. Whenever you have a King Zone match day and a KSV match day, you're going to get the best of both worlds, usually.
Still trying to siege up. Can't quite get the connection this time with these trouble bubbles. Sieging where they can.
Camille has a long way to go, so map pressure is going to be slow to develop. Rengar actually pushing in mid lane. These high AD junglers make it fun, because tank junglers pushing in the mid lane doesn't mean anything, but a Rengar stacking AD is going to be something.
Jumping forward yet again, just can't quite find him. The wave's moving up. KSV want to knock down this final outer turret.
Now it means something, as Gnar has been drawn to answer the Camille. Haru also kind of asking his top laner, can we dive crazy? He's exhausted, so the answer was probably not definitely no, but safety first and his back away.
Crown going in very aggressively, but punish.
Very hard to punish with the paddle jump, unfortunately. Portal jump, I should say. Juve, will he finally get a Trinity Force proc on the answer? No! No Trinity Force procs on that turret.
Hooray.
More video games, Kilios. It's what the people want. It's what the people will get.
It's a very interactive video game.
Yeah,
right now.
Paddle Stars. Really super interactive.
It's the best.
Biggest gold lead is between Varus and Ezreal. About 2,000 gold there. Largely farm, actually. It's quite a lot of farm. Kind of crept up on this game. 63 CS. When I glanced between Ruler and Ghost. Laning phase going very well for Ruler this game. I still need to be a believer on the Shen. Finally level 11. Continues to be 6 levels behind the enemy top laner. I wish someone would take a burst of damage.
Wish somebody would die.
You lead a dark life, Kilios.
In game, you know.
Oh, thanks for specifying.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Usually with these passive-aggressive comments towards me, I wasn't sure, right?
You were the one bullying me in Jen earlier. So.
When? I don't remember that.
There is logs. I can pull it up.
I don't believe in logs. All right.
Oh, boy. Oh, here we
Juve's
go.
just holding anyone.
Yeah, that's just going to be the ultimatum. And you talk about Ignar being that much lower in level. And, well, he gets popped. He dies very quickly. Crazy, in the meantime, is pushing in. We'll be taking down that turret, but KSV might just be looking for the Baron yet again.
Now, Bono's alive. 2 levels under Haru, so the smite threat is lower, but gonna get a turret. KSV so far been good at these Baron protections.
It's a bit early that time, Ghost.
Yeah, and Crown can just patrol it, so they give it up. Baron over to the side of KSV. Second Baron of the game.
See what they can take with this one. Likely going to be looking to finally finish off that tier 2 turret in the bot lane. Can they make it all the way in to the inhibitors is going to be the question.
Might be an argument to force the Mountain Drake off spawn just to get the Elder to spawn earlier in the game.
Yeah.
They've got pretty much control of the map. BBQ have a lot of poke. Wave against Baron, not massive. Malzahar does basically nothing, and Ezreal also not going to be the strongest. So trying to barrel down a single lane and have QV Rambo again with the ultimate, it's definitely possible to force something. They were happy to turn onto Ignar because he's still super underleveled. 7 levels under the top laner now. Can't get bigger than that, unfortunately, but 7's still a big number. Roll through mid lane. Rengar still split pushing. The casual Flame Horizon from the jungle because he's basically been a top laner this game.
We're looking for crazy right now. Trouble Bubble connects. Nice one there.
Minion wave for him to get a proper bounce.
Yeah, makes it his way back behind the turret there, but that will be taken down rather swiftly. I can see QV going out really far forward there, gets the technical sweep, throws down the ultimatum, has to flash over the wall, down to half HP, and they are still chasing in for this Camille. He gets slowed up. The Iceborne Gauntlet doing work, and that is going to be the finish.
And KSV wasted Cosmic Radiance on the other three, but here we go.
Burst of damage going through there. Ignar manages to flash away before the Dazzle connects. Still low, looking for the Paddle Star, and there you have it. Crown takes him down. In the meantime, Inhibitor exposed up top as Haru just focused in on that wave.
Smart time to engage for BBQ. They knew Haru was training down the Inhibitor turret. Their base is broken, but they get a proactive pick. Doesn't mean anything. No map control with a Nidalee usually makes it very difficult to push forward and actually make things happen, and Paddle Stars are still raining down.
Yep, still catching ghosts there, but the heals come through. They keep them healthy in the fight here for the moment, as Haru tries to continue the split push down to the bottom lane. 15 seconds left on QV. They expose another Inhibitor here in the mid lane. Gets the sleep, going to be looking for the hit.
Teleport on QV when he respawns in 5 seconds. That's why you see KSV still pushing pretty aggressively. They want to cement this turret damage and get the maximum. And he's going to teleport top to try and force that top lane Inhibitor at minimum.
Trying to get that full court press going here with Haru down in the bottom lane, and the rest of KSV in the middle.
There's that Flame Horizon for the jungler, but he's been a laner for the last 10 minutes or so, so naturally he'll have a big CS advantage.
It's going to be Bono jumping in. Nice juke out on the spear. Nice juke on the Mystic Shot as Haru tries to stay alive, tries to keep that Guardian Angel, flashes away. Spear comes through. He dodges that. He dodges a True Shot Barrage. BBQ are throwing everything at him, but he dodges it all, and in the meantime, they're losing out on their Inhibitors. Mid and top both going down.
They were invested Achilles. They felt like they had to do it. Speaking of having to do it,
they're going to be looking to catch them here on the recalls. Blastcone sends Crown back towards the enemy team, and Ruler's going to get caught. The heal comes through as he tries to run away. The Boomerang slowing him up here from Crazy. He gets the transformation, pushes Haru back, and Haru will get his GA popped.
One kill's not enough for BBQ, though. How much can they get here? 2 Inhibitors still down.
Redemption comes through, and Core JJ gets pushed back up just a little bit. You can see them, all the rest of the members safely recalling. Mountain Drake likely to get picked up here by BBQ, but that's about it.
Yeah, smart for KSV to scatter. One person was going to die, ended up being the Rengar. No need for it for 1 to turn into 2 to turn into 3. It's a single kill. Mountain Drake, kind of a favor for KSV because it means that the Elder will spawn. New win condition. BBQ may have 2 stacks, but this Shen, level 13, can't face check. The Gnar is looking for flanks, so actually getting in a position where they can actually take an Elder in any sort of safety against a team made for turning on objectives seems impossible. Elder will spawn. The game may be over by 42.5 minutes, but that's when that objective will be on.
Well, the game will continue. 7-7, 36 minutes in. 2 Inhibitors dead inside the base of BBQ and barely holding on to that final turret there in the bottom lane. As KSV can see, is already shoving the lane forward here. QV hovering around the top side.
BBQ game big buffs is kind of a bonus, given how far behind, how well controlled they've been. Double bubble hits onto the Ezreal, and he has to use the cleanse effect there, otherwise he would have died. Q and also Battlestar would have killed him.
He's fine, but the turn is not. That one goes down. QV still pushing the wave up, keeping the super creeps, giving that pressure onto the top lane.
It's map playtime. Camille pushing in the super minions top side. Another Paddle Star.
Oh, connects in onto Ignar, I believe. Do a ton of damage there to the Shen, but does a lot to Ghost when he gets that hit.
Still playing 3 lanes. Still having Rengar push the minions in mid.
It's going to be Grasp coming down here on a Ruler. Big shield to help keep him alive. Cosmic Radiance does come through. He's going to be able to retreat. His Crown jumps forward. Hey! Over the True Shot Barrage. Just barely clips him. Didn't have the flash. Didn't have a way of getting out of range.
Every time they play 3 lanes, credit to BBQ, they are actually getting a pick to slow down the game. It doesn't advance their position, but whenever you see the clock hit 40 minutes and the game stall out, your mind turns. Some of the very lengthy games we've had on patch 8.1. To me, recreating that here with no Sivir, no true wave clear, against Baron buff especially, seems impossible. Malzahar cannot deal with Baroned up minions, and Ezreal and Gnar are largely single targets. So for now, super delay into a 70-minute victory seems like not a winnable strategy for BBQ, but getting a single pick does slow the onslaught of KSV.
Well, just 60 some odd minutes to go. We'll have the record broken again. As we are in past 11 p.m. now in Korea.
With KSV going 3 games, you kind of knew what to expect. Yeah, not King Zone when it comes to their style on playing the game. Ugly but effective sometimes. Game 2, though, behind. You know, it's another one of those series. It could have been 2-0 in a different world. The Afrika one and then the BBQ one. But if you keep doing that, then it says a lot about your mental fortitude. Reminds me of SK Telecom in some metas a few years ago, where there was a lot of good passages of play for the enemy team, often in the early game, but still would be that same victory.
Connecting in onto the Ezreal. Can't quite get that hit. Guard body blocks it. Baron is there and waiting. Neither team going to be going for it unless they can find a pick.
Shot the minions this aggressively does trivialize something happening in the base, so the inhibitors will respawn before too long. Even getting in a position to deny a free Baron to KSV shows how far these picks have pushed BBQ. Crown recalling. They're turning on to the best, starting it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, actually are just going to be going for this one. Crown going to be TPing
Is it 50-50 time?
Is QV. It might be. Haru just can't get there in time, though. He's just going to go ahead, push forward now with the Cosmic Radiance, jump in onto Crazy to try to finish off the Gnar, but the Sun comes in, and he is still going to be alive here for the moment. They finally finish him off as Core JJ gets the kill. That's still 4 members exiting with the Baron buff for BBQ.
That was crazy. In the base, the actual, in the back of the pit, the Varus snared the whole 4-man team. They had to end up flashing and dashing over the wall. Giving up Baron, but just a single death is often a great move, but against super minions, it's the last wave of super minions. They'll back off. There's definitely times where giving up Baron ends the game for the enemy team, because they only have 4 members and they can't actually turtle against a dive comp.
Looking for the pick there. Onto Ghost, gets to sleep yet again. It's out the paddle star, but can't find the connection, but that's still going to be the inhibitor likely going down. Shadow Dash goes forward there on a Core JJ. He gets pop, attempt will be as well as Ruler takes him down. Flashes away, he's coming through as Haru just jumps in, goes man mode, and manages to make it out with his life with a GA. Will finally get popped off the backside as Crown just tries to gate everybody back over towards the fountain. KSV are looking for the finish, and with that hit, I think they have it. Crown takes him down with the Battlestar, gets the double kill, the headsets are off, and KSV, hard fought, way harder than they ever anticipated, will take down BBQ in game number 3.
And that's what I was alluding to. If you take the Baron but give up a single member, sometimes the cost will be the game-ending 4v5. With the 4, single pick starts. Even in the end, Ignar doesn't body block, and the game ends. So congratulations to KSV. Eerily similar to the series against Afrika, but they make it work.
Well, there you go. A sigh of relief collectively there from the KSV organization as they walk away with the win. Unfortunate for BBQ, but clear signs of improvement from this squad. You would have to say things seem to be a bit more tight-knit from these guys, and pretty much everybody having a standout moment or two throughout the series.
You wonder if they'll be able to use the scientific formula to look at the fact that they take out Trick. Early game is improved, but Trick was their shot caller, remember, so some of those late game victories could have been attributed to his shot calling. Now they're opting to very different drafts with Nidalee that are very hard to close out, so you understand why they weren't able to win game 2. But I hope that they can look at the 2 extremes of this mechanically talented player with an aggressive streak that made some mistakes, showed his rookie status, but also that buoyed him to a great performance, all things considered, and also Trick, who struggled in the early game, but has been their shot caller, and find some way forward. I don't know what that represents. I know I would like to see more Bono, but when it comes to BBQ, it was a good performance, but sadly, it's another one of these honorable defeats that they're not going to smile about. There's going to be extensive VOD review, and we'll see if in the next series they can come up better for the run.
Yeah. Need to get those results on the board before they fall down too far. But I'm right there with you. I think Bono here looking quite good for them at the start of his career. And I fully expect that we'll see a bit more of him as time goes on.
A lot of these teams kind of free-falling. We've got Kongnu Monster free-falling. We've now got BBQ also free-falling. Rox Tigers likely to join that list as well. So It feels like we're finally, by the end of week 3, which ends tomorrow, going to define things a little bit more cleanly. Right now, KSV aren't looking impressive in their victories, but largely are picking up victories. For their fans and for their current ladder position, that's still enough.
Yep. Going to be in that sole position of second place here for the moment. But all of that can change. The whole top 3 can get shaken up when it comes down to that massive match on Wednesday. Kingzone versus KT will be the battle for first place.
I can't wait for it. Next week will be our last week of full play before the Korean New Year break does come out, so we'll have a week off after next week.
God. Crown.
Zoe does a lot of damage.
Whew.
Much more of a team effort on the side of BBQ. We'll note that Bono this game really couldn't get it going, as the Nidalee wasn't the same explosive Nidalee that caught KSV off guard in Game 2, and Haru's Rengar continues to go through undefeated. With some great performances there.
Also not really that great from Ignar. 2 great games in a row. The Alistar going on the secret missions into the Blitzcrank. Couldn't get it done in Game 2, but was at least more proactive. Whereas the Shen here just didn't really see too much creativity from him.
The Haru Rengar undefeated for this series, 4-1 for the season, now 11-2. So by far his most dominant pick. We'll pick up the MVP. It's going to be Haru again. All right.
Okay.
Spring season all over again. The King of Spring, is it Haru? Was so great last year, almost was the MVP of Spring season. I believe he finished 4th, all things to be considered. And remember, Crown was stealing all his votes.
Yep.
Spring season last year, he is now equal first.
I mean,
we've got some great players here.
It's
Haru
just
Khan,
bottling up.
Deft, Kuro, and Teddy. All been fantastic performers here in Spring 2018. Bono got a nice start, then he leapt into the Krugs, and Haru said thank you very much.
Yep. And then Ruler with a nice little initiation there on the Dragon to finish off Bono. What a way to go.
This was the one that was my favorite.
Yeah.
Playing around minion vision beautifully. Well ganked in the end, also well baited in by Cuvée. Allowed them to put down the control wall. Thought he was safe, he was not. And Haru definitely had some happy bouncy times jumping around brushes as the game went on.
Still, between game 2 and 3 shows us, the swing of Haru basically. Because he's had some pretty low lows in game number 2, but also some really nice highs here in game 3.
This game was kind of another all-in on Ignar, trying to pull off the last pick support and make it work.
The jukes.
This time not working it. You're right. Juke shoes were on. We're not even going to include him solo killing earlier in the game. Then towards the end, I want you to watch the Varus ultimate getting insane value in the pit while the chase onto Crazy was happening. But congratulations to Haru. Double MVP again.
Very nicely done. So we'll get to hear from him. Unfortunately, no interview with Ignar. Can't pick any brains about that Blitzcrank, but for now, we'll go ahead and hear from Haru, the man, the Rengar. So Joel, take it away with the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Joel with your last interview translation of the day. We're here with KSV, almost seemingly losing out on their fight against BBQ Oliver, but they do pick out a 2-1 win. We have Haru, the MVP, for the interview. This is Deja Vu once again. We saw you for this solo interview, doing it again. How do you feel this time around?
굉장히 떨리더라고요.
It felt very shaky. I was really nervous about this entire thing, and
이번 두 번 경기도 집중 좀 잘해서
I think I was
잘 이긴 것 같아요.
particularly focused on these 2 games that I played, so I was happy with that.
질문은 왠지 드렸던 것 같은데 1세트가 어쨌든 패배했었잖아요.
Of course, you did lose out in game 1, and
어떤 질문을 하면서 하루
what was the kind of the decisive point in getting you into game 2?
좀 공격적으로 좀 약간 이득 보는 플레이 그런 플레이가 필요하다.
Our coaching staff decided that we needed a little more aggressiveness in the jungling phase, which is something that I have that ambition does a little less of, so that's why I was put in. And your opponent today was not Trick, but it was Bono, some of the opponent that you haven't seen before. Well, I didn't have too much to think about that one, but he was very surprisingly good.
이세트 하시는 거 보고 너무
I think game 2 really did surprise me to a point to what kind of a player potentially he can be.
랭가 니달리가 막 나와가지고 날뛰고
And Rengar Nidalee was very interesting proposition as to what the matchup would be like.
무난히 이기는 구도인 것 같아요.
I think Nidalee only beats Rengar only in the early phase, and it doesn't scale as well in the late phase.
경기가 펼쳐졌는데 우리 블리츠 클랭크가 나왔어요.
And game 2 was a bit of a surprise with Blitzcrank having come out in such a long time.
상대하는 것이
좀 잘 끌리더라고요.
Yeah, I mean, our teammates were kind of stuck to him like glue, and
딱히 저는 힘들지 않았는데
I didn't have a hard time,
팀원이 많이
but I think my
힘들어하더라고요.
teammates did, so
했는데 팀원분들은
I did a good job of dodging them. My teammates couldn't.
한번 끌려간 적이 있죠. 정말
You did get pulled once, I do believe.
튀어나오다가 그냥 끌려갔잖아요.
그 의식은 하고 있었는데
Yeah, I was worrying about it at the same time, but definitely got the psychology advance that the Blitzcrank got on me on that one.
호장준 선수가 그래서 뭐 2세트는 서포트 대전이다 막 이런 얘기 나올
And we felt like with Core JJ also on the line, it was a battle of the supports in game 2. How'd you feel about that?
탐켄치 했었죠.
He did play Tom Kench in game 2, but
용인이 형이 좀 먹는 거 잘해요.
he's really good at eating.
먹는 거 원래
Let's say that for sure.
형진이 형이 현실에선 더 잘하고 용인이 형이 탐켄치로 먹는 거 좀 잘해요.
No, but I think whenever he does grab the Tom Kench, he can really make these super saves that change the output of the game. Let's look at one of the replays here. What is the deciding factor into going in so aggressively as a Rengar, not very tanky as a champion himself?
꼭 그것만 체크하면 될 것 같아. 상대 빠진 스킬 보고 들어.
I mean, you just have to look at what skills have been used by your opponent and kind of limits your death potential once you go in that aggressively.
말자궁만 조심하면 되잖아요. 아마 저때 말자궁을 썼을 거예요.
And it was a situation where the key skills from your opponents were already been used, so
들어갔던 거.
that just allowed me to give me the go button to get into that fight all by myself.
3세트 아까도 뭐 초반에 말씀하셨습니다만은 정말 정글들의 초반 갱스.
And the third game, once again, was a reflection of game 2 where the early jungle fight between the two junglers were quite intense.
그때 어떤 생각 좀
And what did you feel about the earlier part of the jungle phase?
오더라고요. 처음에 블루 시작했는데 위쪽 가서 바로 아래쪽으로 와가지고.
Yeah, it started with the blue first, but the opponent jungler came in a very unusual route, and
그거 보고 아마 그 두꺼비 아니고 개복치? 네, 그걸 먹었어요.
it did catch me a little bit off guard on what I had to do to compensate for that.
그래서 그냥
네, 저는 운 좋게 걸리긴 했는데.
But I think I was a little bit lucky in some of those situations where I got the routing into my favor.
여러 가지 여기서
이런 거 랭가 참 멋진 것 같아요.
I think this is very impressive being to do as a Rengar.
제가 맵을 계속 보고 있었고 이제.
I was looking at the map the entire time, so I was reading into where the Nidalee was going.
이거 그냥 따라가기만 해도.
So I was just kind of just following behind his tail, and that's how that play kind of unfolded.
그리고 깨우려.
아닌 것 같은데.
그건 아니에요.
그건 아닌 것 같고. 그러니까 정확히 모르지만 본인 생각은 아닌 것 같다.
And you don't think that Nidalee knew where you were either.
유독 좀 수비적인 픽들을 많이 하는 것 같아요. 물론 승률도 잘 나오고 있고 잘하기도
Seems
하지만
like
오늘도 1, 2세트 정말 신나게 두들겨 맞았고
some of the picks that were picked by your opponents were a little bit defensive, and also with your teammates as well. And it did get a good job as well.
이제 상대방이 다 스타일을 알잖아요. 그래서
Of course, you do know how we play, and
그렇게 뽑았던 것 같아요.
it's a little bit defensive. So also with Cuvee, having the defensive role kept us in the game for a while.
얘는 이제 수비적이다 이런 게 박히니까 이제 그렇게 뽑았던 것 같아요.
I think that's the reason why he picked up with that kind of stance in mind.
사실 3세트에서는 또 조이를 플레이했던 크라운 선수가
In game 3,
그 대치 국면에서 굉장히 좀 상대의
and it seemed like with the Zoe, it was having a tough time with Crown in mid lane.
플레이할 때 어떤 좀 얘기들
And what was the conversation between that as he was struggling a bit in the face?
그 포킹 할 때는 이제 민호 형이 하자고요 계속. 그래서
I mean, whenever he was in a poking fight, he does end up winning, but
그렇게 했던 것 같아요.
I think he was just trying to be patient, trying to limit his attacking efforts and just into poking and wait for the right moments to go all in.
한것 같아요. 그냥.
포킹하는 타이밍, 뭐 한타하는 타이밍 그런 것들을 잡아주면서.
And of course, I think I did help out with kind of the word when to pull out the team fight.
꽤나 자유로운 편이잖아요. 이분이.
이게 무난하게 크면 너무.
And of course, you're talking about the Rengar. If it does go to the late phase without much death,
그냥 반반인 것 같아요.
I think it's a similar where when you do really well, it gets really strong. But when you don't do well, it still stays all right and intact for you to still make plays out of it.
이런 평가까지 해주셨는데 사실 오늘 경기가 쉽진 않았습니다.
And of course, it wasn't an easy game for you guys. Seemingly looking like you guys might have lost that series.
그래서 KSV도 계속해서
You do with KSV still eke out wins, series after series, but you have all these fans waiting out for you still in this late at night. Would you like to say anything to them?
오늘 날씨가 좀 추워졌다고 하더라고요.
I heard it did get a little bit colder today with the weather, and we still, in despite of that, thank you guys for coming out to cheer out for us.
제가 나간 저번 경기가 좀 두 세트 다 지긴 했는데 이제
Of course, we did lose the 2 games that I wasn't in, but I think we're gonna just try to work as a team to get better and just continue to ask for your support.
네, 항상 멋진 경기력으로
And that is the solo MVP interview with Haru from KSV. And we're gonna throw it back to you guys for the rest of the broadcast.
Thank you very much, Joel. Well, we're right here near the end, Papa Smithy. Another long day for you and I. 11:17 p.m. here. And also a long series for KSV as they struggled to take down BBQ Olivers, but they got it in the end.
All about that Rengar. Rengar versus Nidalee was looking very Nidalee favored in Game 2 before Rengar stuck the landing and also able to run away with Game 3. Predictably, the long games were KSV's. They will also cement their spot, 5-1, second place, but does feel a bit weaker, doesn't it, Achilles? Even though they're winning, it's not the same KSV that was risk-free and mistake-free in early weeks.
Yeah, I mean, this was the KSV. It's not the same team that took down Kingzone Dragon X 2-0, though of course that was without Khan on that roster. But
let's do some bookkeeping. There's 2 match days before this. Tomorrow at the Gangnam saying Rox KT, SKT Afrika. Seeing SKT again after their week so far will be interesting. And Rox KSV, Kongdu Monster, Afrika Freaks next Tuesday. But then, like you say, we get down to it and we got a hell of a match 34.
I mean, come on, man. Like, we won't even talk about match 33. KT Rolster versus Kingzone. What more could you want? That's it. That's as good as it gets right now.
I'm sure some people are ready for Afrika MVP and Jin Air Rox Tigers, Achilles.
Woo! Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one for sure.
You'll be there for that match day. We could be going to midnight. Jin Air Rox. Yeah. Your mic working over there? Oh, good.
No, I'm sad. I was all hyped because I matched 34, and then you had to drag me down into the depths there, Papa Smithy. Curse you. Anyway, Jin Air Green Wings versus Kingzone Dragon X a week from today, and then BBQ Olivers versus MVP. So it should be a rather fast series. You would have to expect in both of those if BBQ can bring a similar level of play that we saw today.
Hey, man, MVP could be an up. We don't know. We don't know, Achilles.
Who knows? I'm not doing that day. I know that much, but I'll have to potentially suffer through the previous one.
That's true. And Mad Life will not be doing that day either. Thank you to Mad Life coming out. Had a nice time chatting to him. Very nice guy. He got his tribute pick. It was actually locked in. Couldn't lead to a victory. So BBQ.
But it was still damn entertaining.
It was. Look, that was a great game.
Yes.
Great first 30 minutes, and then it got ground out the KSV way, unfortunately. So, interesting week. We do see the telecom teams play tomorrow. So let's see how KT Rolster can do. If they win, as predicted, go into that 5-1 KSV versus, Kingzone versus KT match. It's going to be a banger, that's for sure.
I mean, either way, it really is just looking like the battle for first place,
Kespa
given
Cup
how
final
KSV
rematch
is.
as well.
That's true, but I think
Kingzone's pretty good now.
Yeah, Kingzone, there we go. Mixing up the too many K teams.
We do have too many K teams. Why is there 4?
So, yeah, Kingzone looking much better than they did during the Kespa Cup, so I think that's going to go a little bit differently this time around. So KT going to have to bring their A game. Smev versus Khan, always super exciting.
And we got that new patch, patch 8.2. Hoping there's going to be some new stuff.
Pre-gasm.
Doran's blades have never looked more attractive than they do right now. Bring them back. Get away with the relic shields. None of those.
Out of here.
No.
None of that. We need that. The Drake meme. It's just like no to the relic shield.
No Vladimir top lane with free ghost anymore either.
None of that.
New stuff. Bring it to
be
us.
Good. All right. Hopefully the Koreans will deliver on that front. But for now, that's going to be goodbye from us here at OGN for the week. Papa will be back tomorrow at the Gangnam Studio for more LCK action. You can check that out. But I'll see you guys right here, right again on Thursday. So have a good night. I'll check you guys out then.